Welcome to A Slice of Ringgold, a podcast that tells you all about some amazing people and places in Ringgold. We're on location at Raphael's Pizza. I've got Jason Rogers with the Rogers Agency with us today, and I am Jessica Garrett of Mighty Oaks Realty. So before we dive in, Jason, can you tell us what your favorite thing to order on the menu at Raphael's is?
Oh, the go-to is the chicken parmesan, right? If I'm eating by myself or if I'm having a single plate, but obviously the 2-for-1 pizza is a big hit. You can't pass that up.
That's perfect. Yeah, we love that when we bring our family. You can't beat that. So first question I got for you, have you ever done a podcast or anything like this before?
I've never done a podcast. I've been interviewed, once or twice, but never done a podcast. So this is a first experience for me.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Oh, well, where to start? So I'm married to my wife, Brittany. We have one child, Faith. She's in high school at Ringgold, so go Tigers. Other than that, I was a military brat growing up. Grew up in Las Vegas for the first 10 years, and then after my dad had retired, we moved back to the North Georgia area, which is where our family's originally from, and have kind of been here ever since. So probably the last 30 years I've been back in Ringgold.
So you are the owner of the Rogers Agency. You and Brittany run that as a family-owned local business here. Before you did insurance, what did you do?
Well, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. So, I was kind of lost and didn't always make the right decisions. And I just knew I needed to go to work. And so I did that. We kind of grew up with nothing, and I just wanted to be successful, and I didn't know what that meant at that time. Everybody's success is different, and so you can define it in different ways. So I went to work for Chick-fil-A, and I worked for them and traveled across the country with them for about 8 to 9 years. I thought I wanted to be a school teacher so I could get into coaching, and that was probably a great decision, and I didn't do that. I commend all the teachers out there that they have a very, very tough job. So I fell into a job with a telecommunications company, and worked there for 10 years as a project manager before we made a decision to take the leap of faith into insurance.
Well, I got to ask, what sport were you hoping to coach?
Probably baseball. Yeah.
Baseball. Okay.
Yeah, big baseball guy.
Who's your favorite team?
Oh, Atlanta Braves.
Of course, yep. Of course. So what made you decide to get into insurance? So you have this background in a variety of different sectors. So how did you land on insurance?
Well, first of all, I always was intrigued about being a small business owner, and I always believed in myself. And so I'm also a numbers guy. I love to help people, and a door opened up. And me and Brittany, we met together or, got together and kind of prayed about the opportunity. And we said, her words were, you always want to do your own thing. And so I took the leap of faith, and here I am today, 6 years later.
So what kind of insurance do you guys offer at the Rogers Agency?
That's a great question, Jessica. So we're a full multi-line agency. That's one great thing about that we can help you with all your needs, whether it be with commercial insurance or business insurance, farm and ag, home and auto, which is what kind of people know us for. But, all the needs are there that we can protect your biggest assets. But probably the two most important things to us is life insurance, and then also financial, where we can help you with retirement planning. But we can kind of bundle all that together, and hopefully that our clients trust us to protect their most valuable assets.
I know we were talking kind of before this podcast. I come from an insurance background. My parents had an agency as well as I was growing up, but I'm really passionate about insurance myself too, because if you own anything, you need to protect it, I value what you guys do tremendously. So insurance can be confusing for people, that just come in off the street. A lot of people don't think about insurance unless they're buying a home or buying an asset or have had a major life event. So how do you walk a client through making the best decisions they can when it comes to insurance and making it less confusing for them?
So the biggest thing is education. A lot of people out there don't understand what policy they're buying. Like you said, they don't understand it, and so what we love to do is we love to sit them down and to educate them about what they're actually purchasing inside their policy. And as I got into it, I wanted to differentiate myself and not just say, "Hey, I'm just going to sell you an auto policy, or I'm going to sell you an auto or a home policy." We wanted to make sure that you understood and you were comfortable with that. So I don't really go by insurance agent. We like to be advisors, and so it's our job to be able to advise you on what you're getting and help you understand it. Just like anything else, in life, whether you buy a car or anything. You got to understand what you're getting and the value of it.
Right. So insurance can have some interesting moments as well. Is there any memorable stories in your career that you want to share with us?
Probably the one that always sticks out to me is when I first got into the business. I remember one of the very first life insurance policies that I ever sold. And, we always believe in what we do. And then, but it came to fruition about 2 years ago. That policy that I sat down with that husband and wife, and we sold them a life policy for what they needed. And then I got a phone call, and that was 6 years ago. And I got a phone call about 2 years ago, and I remember it to this day. And she called me and told me that he had passed away in a motorcycle accident. Mm. And at that moment, I realized how important and the value that our jobs is. And sorry, I get a little tore up about that, but it just made you feel good because we were doing what we were supposed to do and protecting that family and their foreseeable income that they wouldn't have had and they lost out on. So
absolutely. Well, you were there in their time of need, and we have a personal story that happened to my grandmother. She was a widow at a young age and had 4 children, and they were diligent about paying their life insurance policy. They didn't have the money to pay it, but they paid it anyway. And my grandfather passed away, and my grandmother was able to keep her house and raise her children, and she still had to work, but they had a roof over their head. So yep. Like you were saying, life insurance is so valuable.
Absolutely.
For sure. So what's something that you've learned since you started the agency that surprised you?
Just how people believe in you and how much they put a lot of trust in you. And, you think you have friends, you have family and all that, but it's the community when they say that, hey, I want to do business with you. And that to me, that means a lot to me. I mean, that people they choose to do business with us just because of who we are and what we believe in.
I could see that. My parents have a similar story. Like, I'm sure people don't have insurance with the companies you represent. They have insurance with Jason Rogers. When they call up, their policy is with you,
exactly.
Right?
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
I love that. So if someone was moving to Ringgold, of course, I'm a real estate agent. I love to help people relocate here. But what's one piece of advice unrelated to insurance that you would give them if they're looking to relocate to Ringgold?
Oh, just get involved in the community. There's so much uniqueness that I don't know if we can call it a small town anymore, but the small town of Ringgold brings. There's not many towns that actually just kind of shut down for like 1890s Day and Dolly Days and all those type of things, and it just brings like that real hometown vibe and that connection. And we're open arms, right? So I think if people move in, they can dig in and get involved in the community. That would be my biggest advice.
Well, that brings me to my next question. So what are some of your favorite things to do in Ringgold? Are there any hidden gems or anything you want to share with us?
Well, my favorite thing to do in Ringgold is play golf. So at Windstone Golf Course, we're big golfers in the community. But it's just fun just to be able to walk downtown and grab an ice cream and just really enjoy the day and see the different people.
I agree. I think our biggest asset is the people in the community, for sure. So besides insurance, what are you passionate about? What do you do outside of work?
Well, everybody knows me. I'm big on Georgia Bulldogs. So we followed him around the country sometimes, and especially football. And during fall season, we're pretty much locked up on that. So other than that, we golf. We like to enjoy our friends and family, whether it be out on the boat or at the golf course or planning a trip together. So friends to me are like family to me. We don't have, me or my wife really don't have a lot of family. We have some, but it's not a bunch, and we don't have a big family, so we consider our friends family, and so that means a lot to us.
I've got to admit, I bleed orange. Grew up in Tennessee. I hope this doesn't change our dynamic here, but you guys had a good season last year, so
we did.
I'm happy for you guys. Yeah, I have to learn to take it when we can get it and just celebrate the moments that we have. But that's it. Ringgold's growing and changing. We kind of talked about that a little bit. What do you see as some opportunities for our community in the next 5 years? And how do you think your agency fits in that picture?
Well, I think you hit it on. It's growing, right? So there's people, I get to see different clients come in that are moving here from California or Arizona, Texas, all across the country. They're moving to, the Chattanooga, North Georgia area, and Chattanooga's overfilling. It's overflowed, just like Nashville did a few years back, and they're overflowing into our community, which is Ringgold. Yeah. And so as development goes, we have the opportunity to, introduce ourselves and be able to let them know how we can help them in the community. And we don't just look at ourselves as, those are clients. We have resources that we can be able to help those new folks that come into the community as well.
Well, and you guys, I meant to ask you this earlier, and we'll get to it probably a little bit later on, but you're licensed in Tennessee and Georgia both, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and some other states.
So you can service anybody in those communities. I know, being a small business owner, it's good to have mentors and have people that inspire us to be our best and everything. So who has made an impact on your professional journey, and do you have any mentors that you want to kind of just pay respects to?
Yeah, there's been several people, help me along the way, and growing up, I was kind of, did this kind of on my own at a young age. I don't know if I could put one person out there. I would probably put a company out there. I was 20 years old when I went to work for Chick-fil-A, and I would not be anywhere I am today without company, with their values and their core that they'd instilled into me and their employees. It's kind of like, you practice what you preach, and they did that. And, the late Truett Cathy said that nearly every moment of every day, you have the opportunity to give someone something to someone, and whether that's time or love or your resources. And I have found more joy in giving to someone else without expecting something in return. And that's one of his quotes. And anybody that knows me, I find that myself. I love to give to people. I love to share anything that I have with other people. And so if it wasn't for Chick-fil-A, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. It's just a great company. Everybody knows Chick-fil-A, right? So, but it really made a difference in my life over that 8 or 9 years that I worked for them.
Well, you can't even visit Chick-fil-A without leaving with a smile on your face. Yeah.
It's just a different breed of people.
Yeah.
And it starts with the leadership at the top, and anybody that's worked for that company, they can see that. They can feel the difference.
Absolutely. Well, so if someone's new, we talked about Ringgold growing, Chattanooga kind of spilling over into the area. So if someone's new to Ringgold and they're thinking about switching their insurance, what's it like working with the Rogers agency?
So I'm all about relationships. And so, the biggest thing for us is we want to bring them in. We want to earn their trust, and we want to build that relationship so they can trust us. And again, it goes back to educating them, sitting down, doing a whole financial need analysis to know how to protect them. A lot of people don't do that, and they just kind of sell it over the internet or the phone. and we like to be personable. So for us, it's about building relationships, and that goes with our core.
I like that you do that needs analysis, because I think a lot of people don't know what they don't know. Like, they don't even take the time to sit down and say, this is what I have, this is what I want my future to look like. And to be able to have that time to take with that client, to have them to have a bird's eye view of where they're at and where they want to go, that's really valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys do that. So what are your hopes and goals for the Rogers Agency in the next 5 years?
Well, we started this thing. I say we, me, my wife. She has her own business, but she also was able to help me at the beginning. And so I don't want to say it was a one-man show, but it was kind of a one-man show. And now we have, 5 people in our office. And so as we grow, we want to grow the right way. And we want to be able to put on the table and help with everybody's needs. So we can do that like a one-stop shop. And again, probably would like to double our business in the next 5 years, as we've done that already the first 5 years. But at the same time, we want to do it the correct way. And that's always going to be number one priority to us.
Sounds like you guys are looking for quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And lastly, how can people find out more about the Rogers Agency or reach out to you guys?
Yeah, so we have a website. You can go to therogersagency.org, or you can call us at 706-519-2680. We're fully staffed, and we will be able to set up an appointment just to be able to assist you, and hopefully we can make a good partnership.
Awesome. And if somebody wants to walk in your door, where are you guys located at?
We are at 102 Rimco Shops Lane in Ringgold, Georgia, right up on the hill behind the Cracker Barrel.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. We've had Jason from the Rogers Agency, and we're really excited about seeing how they serve our community in the coming years. And if you're looking for great insurance coverage, reach out to them, and then head over to Raphael's to celebrate with a meal. Thanks again, and thanks for tuning in to A Slice of Ringgold. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes.